Hello and welcome to Daily Records, and I'm Tommy Burton. Today's record is one that has a cover that is almost worth mentioning as much as the music. This is the Bee Gees' Odessa, released on the Atco label in March of 1969. It's a double album set from the Bee Gees, and it features, and I don't know if you can really get a good look at that, but a red velvet cover. Mine's not in the best of shape, but it's got some tear down in the corner. But the records themselves are in really nice shape on the Atco label. And I'll show you guys this album. And it's a double album set, and very much was a very ambitious project. Now, for those of you that only know the Beach Boys the Bee Gees as the disco band, Staying Alive and stuff like that. I highly recommend going back and checking out the early stuff. I think if there was a real successor to the Beatles, and maybe a bridge between what ELO was doing in the 70s and what the Bee Gees were doing in the late 60s into the mid 70s, the Bee Gees were very good sort of successors to that sound, that pop rock experimental type stuff. Now, this was their fourth album, and it was actually their sixth album. It was their fourth album released internationally, and it's the only double album they ever did of original music. And it would be the final album that the band, and everybody knows Barry, Morris, and Robin, the three brothers, the Bee Gees, the brothers Gibb, but they actually had a full band, and so that band stayed together. Funny enough, Robin Gibb left the group temporarily after this because they disagreed over what to release as a single. But from the cover and the sort of felt velvety cover and all of that, this really was a ambitious project from top to bottom. And so they took a lot of their influences and melded them together. They originally wanted to call this an American opera. So this is around that time, Tommy and Jesus Christ Superstar and some of those really ambitious sort of musical things were coming out. But this is one that was the Bee Gees' sort of answer to all of that. Now, again, this is one of the original ones with the red cover and the gold lettering. Now, later on, they released it as a standard sort of cardboard. You can find some later pressings that are not this sort of felt velvety cover. And it's weird. When the album came out, it was not really well received. There was a very big decline in the Bee Gees' popularities until they started to come back with sort of the dance hits, like they kind of reinvented themselves, which is probably out of necessity as much as anything. But it's gone on through time to have significantly more favorable opinions of it. And I think, like any great art, sometimes it takes time before it's always fully appreciated. But it was, nowadays it's highly regarded as a great piece. My thing about it, if I have one complaint, it may be a little bit overly long. This may be an album that suffers from just excess. But it's a fantastic listen, and there's a lot of really, really good gems on here. I think, it's one of those that's sort of the Bee Gees' Sgt. Pepper. It's their big, ambitious sort of artistic statement on the world. But unfortunately, it was confusing upon release, and a lot of people just didn't get it. And I don't think they were, audiences were interested in hearing about it or hearing this type of music, especially at this point. By the late '60s, music had kind of gone back in a more sort of rootsy, do-it-yourself kind of mode by that point, and hit the reset button. But worth checking out, a fun, fantastic album. And like I said, if you're not familiar with early Bee Gees work and only know the sort of disco stuff or the hits that Barry Gibb wrote, I think you'll be shocked by something like this to know the Bee Gees would write and record an album like this, especially one as out there and as heavy. But Odessa is today's daily record. Like, subscribe, comment, share down below. I love interacting with you guys. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. I usually show what I'm spinning there. And definitely check out my main channel, the Tommy Burton VC channel. Thanks to everybody that's been watching. I'll see you again tomorrow with another daily record.